Warhammer Online is of course based upon Warhammer, which is a license that Games Workshop has been working on for almost 25 years. So everything that you see within the game, whether it's player versus player combat, whether it's players fighting monsters, whether it's questing, crafting, everything has to do with the fact that there is an overall war and that it's all over the place. So any of the three races from the realm of destruction can fight any of the three races from the realm of order, and vice versa.
So how are you getting them to mingle, because they're sort of separated all over the place?
We have a couple of different transportation methods that allow players to move between the different areas throughout the world. This is an example of one of our zones. So each zone has PvE areas and a PvP area. Okay. So in order to PvP, you go to the PvP area.
So there are safe zones and dangerous zones.
Absolutely, yeah. So, but this holds true throughout the entirety of the game. So in each and every zone, let me go back to this. In here, there's a PvE area and an RVR area. In here, PvE, RVR, throughout the entirety of the game. Some zones have more, some zones have less, but they all have both. So it's up to you as a player. If you choose to go in PvP or RVR throughout the entirety of your career, you absolutely can do that. There's nothing stopping you. You can gain experience, you can gain gold, you can gain items and loot through RVR. Public quests are generated on an area, so when you walk into a certain area, you automatically are given a specific public quest for that area. The public quest has to do with the storyline of the area that you're in. So, what are you dying for? Go back to that public quest. So I'll have Eugene actually go to a public quest area to demonstrate. The way they work is, not only do you automatically get them, but everybody who comes into the area gets them. Not only that, but they're literally the same quest. So if you go in the area and I go in the area, whether we're grouped, it doesn't matter. You get exactly the same quest I get. And so, for example, he just got his new public quest. It actually shows up here at the top of his screen. You can see that he needs to kill 20 annoying squigs. As he does this quest, this counter will go 1, 2, standard stuff. If I was there also and I killed one, his counter would go up. If he kills one, my counter goes up. So we are working together on these quests. The amount of participation that he gives is how much reward he gets. The amount of participation I get, how much reward I get. The beauty of the system is your private quests, the quests that you get that are yours, send you on different adventures throughout the world. As you're wandering through the world doing these adventures, you're wandering from public quest to public quest, so you always have different and new and interesting things to be doing. And especially with the public quests, they're telling this story about the world as you move through. So the compendium of knowledge is really is an area that holds everything that you've done in the game. So when you start the game, the compendium is empty. There's nothing in it. As you encounter monsters, NPCs, items, as you explore the world, as you go through and do all of these different things, you are unlocking all of this information in the compendium. So for example, the first time I encounter a giant and kill him, it paints a picture of a giant for me, it scribbles one for me. You've killed one giant. As I kill more and more, as I do more things with them, I unlock more information about them. Let's say I kill 100 giants, I might get a title that says Giant Killer above my head. As I kill 500 giants, I might get a new ability that is the Giant Slayer ability that allows me to kill giants even better the next time. So the tome is not just a place to store information, but it's a place to unlock new things. It's a place to get new abilities. It's a place to get new titles, and it really truly tracks your entire life. So let's talk about RVR. There's really 4 levels of RVR within Warhammer.
There'll be relics.
No
relic keep.
No relics.
And doors to repair.
No relics and no doors to repair. So
thank you.
No problem. So the first level of RVR is what we call skirmish RVR. Skirmish RVR is really the foundational function of RVR. I go into one of those areas where I can RVR, I see a bad guy, we hit each other with our sticks until one of us dies. That's skirmish RVR. It's just the foundation, the building blocks for RVR. We also have what we call battlefields. Battlefields are areas within the skirmish area where, let's say there's a tower on the hill. The tower is what we call a battlefield. You run up to the battlefield, you can take the battlefield for your own. Let's say you raise your flag over the top of the tower. By capturing that, you get bonuses in the area. The enemy wants those bonuses also, so the enemy comes up and tries to take it from you. These are truly intended just to be conflict points within the world, places that you guys will come together and fight over. Scenarios is really the bread and butter of what we're doing with RVR. Scenarios are instanced, objective-based, evenly matched battles. There's hundreds of these in the world. They're located within the skirmish areas. They're an area that as you get, as you move towards them, when you come close to them, they literally pull you out of the world and put you in a lobby. The lobby is used to match you with players from the good guy side and from the enemy side also. It shows you the objectives, gives you a time limit, and sets you loose with an evenly matched group of players versus you in the world. Generally, our time limits are 15 to 30 minutes on our battlefields, on our scenarios right now, and they are very diverse. By using skirmishing, battlefields, and scenarios, you generate as a player, you generate what we call victory points for your realm. These aren't personal things, these are things that you're gaining for your realm. So as the two sides are fighting in RVR, one side is eventually winning by gaining more victory points. What this plays into is it plays into the fourth type of RVR, which is the campaign game. So the campaign game takes place in this high-level area between the two capital cities. The way that it works is, as we're fighting within a zone and I'm gaining victory points, my realm eventually gains enough victory points over you to capture the zone. At that point, the zone subtly changes to demonstrate my ownership of the zone. I can then move to the next zone and we can fight over that zone. And if I can win that zone, then we move to your capital city in this instance. In the capital city, we have scenarios that become active and that I can fight for your capital city.
Is that the capital city where I would be doing all my administrative stuff and buying things? Absolutely. And where my vault is? So I don't want to lose it.
You don't want to lose your capital city. We're making sure that in each capital city there is a safe area that, for example, there may be certain administrative functions that we don't want to take away from a player. We'll put that in the safe area. Or we may want to give you a place, for example, your flight path will probably come into the safe area. So if your capital city gets captured, you can fly in to help try to take it back through the flight path, that kind of stuff. The capital city scenarios are things like capture the gates, open the, blow a hole in the wall, dig under the gates, climb over the wall. It's take the capital city in whatever way you can.
But that won't be instanced. That will be open for everyone.
So the scenarios at the capital city are instanced, okay? But once you win enough victory points in the capital city to capture it, the instance is closed down and the static world, the gates, literally the gates in the capital city open up and everybody can pour into the capital city to loot and plunder